Imagine you're walking down a street that you've known for your entire life, a place that feels comforting, like home. And then, in an instant, everything changes. We tend to think of life's biggest disruptions as purely negative, as moments that throw us off course. But what if these moments are the very catalyst for life's greatest transformations? 2 years ago, I learned this firsthand, when I was nearly robbed in front of a housing complex right here in the Bronx, in a place I thought I was safe. It was terrifying. But looking back, that moment set off a chain reaction, leading to some of the most profound changes of my life. But how? Let me take you through it. What if I told you that humans undergo metamorphosis the same way the rest of the animal kingdom does? For example, a caterpillar's transformation into a butterfly is a delicate, complex process requiring time, energy, and patience. This serves as a powerful metaphor for life's challenges, reminding us that even when we feel stuck, change is happening beneath the surface. Similarly, frogs undergo an equally fascinating metamorphosis. Frogs start their lives as tadpoles, tiny swimming creatures with no legs, a tail, and gills to breathe underwater. But as time passes, the tadpoles undergo dramatic physical changes. They grow legs, lose their tails, and develop lungs that allow them to breathe air. Eventually, they leave their aquatic home behind and live on land. The transformation from tadpole to frog is a complete reworking of how the organism interacts with its environment, moving from water to the land, from dependence on gills to breathing through lungs. Both the caterpillar and the tadpole face a common challenge in their respective transformations. They must break free of the confines of their old selves in order to evolve into something new. We too experience transformations where we must step out of our comfort zones, break old habits, and embrace uncertainty in order to grow. Just like the caterpillar or the tadpole does not exactly know what it will become, we too do not always know where our journeys will take us. We can only trust that change is a part of the process of becoming who we are truly meant to be. Embracing change, however, is not easy. It requires a mindset shift, a willingness to view change as an opportunity rather than a threat. The frog doesn't question whether or not it should grow legs and breathe air. It simply trusts that its body is changing to suit its new needs. Similarly, we need to trust the process of change in our own lives. When we face difficulties in times of transition, we must remember that this is a sign of growth. We can emerge from experiences stronger, wiser, and equipped to take on new challenges. Both processes take time, and often the most significant changes happen quietly and slowly. Sometimes this process can feel frustrating, as I find that we often want to go fast in life and not stop to reflect on the world around us. I practice multiple martial arts, one of them being Brazilian capoeira, and my teacher would repeat a phrase ad nauseum in Portuguese, calma, meaning slow down or stay calm. At first, I never understood why she would say it when I rushed through learning the new techniques. But as I began to slow down and approach each new movement with intention, I noticed a significant difference. Over time, I started to apply this mindset beyond martial arts, realizing that change happens gradually. By valuing and reflecting on each moment, we can fully absorb the lessons from past challenges before rushing into the new ones. But why is change so difficult? Why do we often resist it? Part of the answer lies in the fact that transformation often feels like we are losing something, whether it's a familiar part of ourselves, a comfortable routine, or an old identity. Change can feel uncomfortable, even painful at times, and that discomfort is what often causes us to shy away from it. The caterpillar, for instance, doesn't stay in its cocoon forever, but it must completely break down and restructure itself to emerge as a butterfly. Similarly, we must experience the discomfort of letting go of what is familiar and secure to allow something new and better to grow in its place. This is especially true when we go through personal challenges. Think about times in your life when you face a difficult situation. Maybe it was a career change, a move to a new city, or overcoming a loss. In those moments, it can feel like you are in a state of transition, like you are in your own personal cocoon, unsure of who or what you will become. These moments, though uncomfortable, are often essential to our personal growth. They force us to reconsider what we truly want from life, and to push ourselves beyond the limits of who we were before. They also force us to possibly take risks, and choosing what risks to take and when it does, induces such an amount of control over your spirit that you suddenly have seemingly endless control over any challenge in life. Every stage, every setback, and every success adds to our growth, shaping us into the people who we are becoming. Just like the frog that can now move between both land and water, we too are capable of adapting and thriving to equipped with new skills and wisdom we've gained along the way. Sometimes we need to do this in order to lead a more fulfilling or comfortable life. Like the tadpole or the caterpillar, we may not see the full picture now, but in time, you will emerge more stronger and more capable, ready to take flight, or leap, like a frog, into the next chapter of your life. Abel Morales, a character from A Most Violent Year, a classic 1980s film, once said, "When it feels scary to jump, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your entire life." Taking control of your ability to change your own personal metamorphosis is one of the many ways you can take control of your life, and mastering this skill can take months or even years. However, taking the first leap of faith is the only way to begin this process. Let's go back to the housing complex I mentioned earlier. How did that moment shape the larger trajectory of my life? Instead of choosing to live in fear of it happening again, I chose to reclaim my sense of control. I returned to martial arts, practicing on the same street where the incident took place. I found myself putting more effort into school, realizing that in an instant, everything can change, just as my safety had been threatened that day here in the Bronx. By the end of the year, I had earned straight A's and even competed in the national volleyball tournament. And look, I'm here giving a TED Talk. All in all, I began taking greater risks in various areas of my life, which ultimately led to greater rewards, opening doors to new and positive opportunities along the way. Rather than letting the bad experiences in life define me negatively, I used it as momentum to propel myself forward, shaping my own transformation. It taught me to live every day like there is no tomorrow, and for that, I am forever grateful. Thank you.